With us right now. Stro, thanks for the time as always, man. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for having me.
Always our pleasure, man. So what was it like being back at the PMAC Saturday?
Man, it was awesome being back home. And it was a great game. The fans were great, and it was great to be back.
When was the last time you were in for a game?
The last time I came, I think was Ben Simmons
Oh
that
wow.
last year that they played Kentucky.
Man, yeah,
That's the last time.
so it's
Yeah.
it's been a few years, man. I'm curious, you've seen the team play on TV. How different is it watching this team in person from what your perception might have been, or is it different?
Well, I watched them a few months ago when they came to Louisiana Tech in the I think the disaster relief game. They played Louisiana Tech in Ruston. But it was so different watching them there and then watching them Saturday. I was really impressed of the energy that they came out with. They took on the challenge. I think the first game against Ole Miss, Tyree Brennan, I think he scored like 36 points. So for them to come out with the energy and the physicality and just to take on their challenge to just kind of like we're not gonna let this guy come in and do what he did the last game. That was a joy to see. I really enjoyed watching that.
So they go on the road tonight to Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's 0-8 in the league. They have lost 26 consecutive conference games. That's a record for futility. I mean, the most consecutive conference losses. Meanwhile, LSU is undefeated in league play, nationally ranked, playing for seeding. This feels like a tricky spot, Stro. Like, let's talk some about like the mentality, how you are as a team going into a game like this, where you're a double-digit road favorite against a team that hasn't won a conference game in 2 years.
Yeah, those games can be a little tricky because sometimes guys don't get up for those games, and you'll look at a record or look at a team and sometimes take them lightly. We can't afford to do that. We have to go in and take care of the business at hand. Like we can't play down to the level of competition. Like we have to go in and attack this game the way that we always do. They always come in with a really good first half team. They come in and they play with a lot of energy and effort. And a lot of games we're able to get a nice cushion in the first half, but we come out in the second half and we're just a little bit lackadaisical. Like we once we get them down, we got to keep them down and finish this game on out. We can't take them lightly.
Tigers are an 11-point favorite in this ball game tonight. Did you ever play at Memorial Gym in Nashville?
I did. That was one of the worst places.
Right.
I hated playing.
So, all right.
But
So, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
just because of the way the gym is built, like the bench is kind of below the floor, and it's I don't know. It was just weird. I always thought I was gonna dive off the court trying to save a loose ball or something and get hurt. Like it was just a tricky court.
So everybody says, right? It's like the sight lines are awful, the benches are on the baseline, the court's elevated. It's so weird. So, is there anything you can do pregame to try to, I don't know, manipulate that or lessen the impact of that?
Well, what we used to do was we would go get there like a day early and try to get a practice in there instead of practicing at home and then going there and play the next day. We try to get a practice or shoot around or something in just so we can get acclimated to the floor and to the atmosphere. But even with doing all that, it was still pretty difficult to play there.
They're coached by Jerry Stackhouse, man. You ever have any run-ins with Stackhouse in the association?
I did. I played a lot of games against Stack, and he was one of the best. Like especially coming out of college, out of North Carolina. Like I remember the time like a lot of people were comparing him to be like the next Michael Jordan and all that stuff. But man, he was a tough player, athletic, uh, slasher to the basket. He was a hell of a player.
What do you expect out of? I don't know if you've gotten a chance to see this Vanderbilt team at all, but what, if anything, do you expect out of this Vanderbilt team or Jerry Stackhouse's coach team?
Um, I haven't had a chance to watch them play, but just knowing Stack, like he's been around the game a long time. He's learned from some of the best. He's played under Dean Smith, like one of the greatest coaches of all time. So I know his knowledge of the game is there. It's I guess it's about just getting the right players, just buying into the system. And I think over the years he'll be fine. Like once he gets a good recruiting class in, like it's right now it's all new. Like you get new players trying to build chemistry, the coaches trying to build chemistry with the players. So it's a tough road right now, but I think he'll be fine in the long run.
They got Scottie Pippen's kid on this team too. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
It's crazy,
but
man.
I heard a long time ago. I heard Scottie had a kid that was coming up that was going to be really good, but I never really got to see him play.
I mean, if Jerry Stackhouse and Scottie Pippen in their prime could play on Vanderbilt, they'd probably be awesome.
Man, that'll be great to see.
Not tonight, though, man. I want to see those guys in their prime tonight. Stromile Swift for a couple more minutes joins us every Wednesday here on AFR to talk a little LSU basketball. LSU also looks like they're going to get Charles Manning back here soon. Your impressions of the impact it would make on this team to have an 8-man rotation as opposed to the 7-man rotation they're running right now?
I think it's great, like especially when you can get another player that can come in and especially help on the glass, just extra scoring. Like that's always great, man. And the things that I've heard about this kid, he's coming in, he's going to be a really good fit for the program. So I'm looking forward to seeing it.
When's the next time you coming in town?
I'm trying to come in for the retirement of Mahmoud's jersey.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll try to make it in for that.
You know why I'm asking? Because of what you and I texted about.
Yes, sir.
So I didn't know this, but Stromile Swift apparently is a complete and total shark at bowling. Like you had the picture you sent me, you had bowled a 296, which is just like absurd to even say. Is that your all-time? Have you ever had a 300 game, or is 296 your all-time best?
That was my all-time best, and man, I fell out on my last roll. I fell out on the lane because I missed it by 4 pins. I was heartbroken. But man, that was a long time ago. And don't put too much pressure on me because I haven't bowled in a long time. But I used to go all the time. Like we used to have like these bowling tournaments when I played in New Jersey. Like Vince Carter, Chris Paul, all those guys were like really good bowlers. So I started trying to take lessons. I started practicing a lot, buying balls, bags, and shoes, and all that stuff. So I put a lot of time in it, and I got pretty good, but I haven't been in a long time. The last time I went, I bowled like a 130. But back then, I was going all the time. So
how long ago did you roll a 130?
Probably about 2 years ago.
Is that so? That's the last time you bowled?
Yeah, I haven't bowled in about 2 years. I took my little team that I have here, my high school team, and we went bowling. I think my first game was like a 130, and then after that, I think I bowled like a 175 or something like that.
It's like you just needed one time, like knock off the dust and the rust, and then you're bowling a 175. So, all right, so you're a total ringer at bowling. We know that. And next time you're in town, I want to set something up to where we'll do like listeners come out and meet you, and we'll go bowling. What is the biggest challenge, though, for a guy that's 6'10" trying to bowl?
Probably the biggest challenge is not falling down.
Wait, did you actually fall down?
Well, when I fell on purpose when I didn't get the 300. Right. But there's been a few close calls where I may have slipped and went over the line. You know, the lane is like can be real oily sometimes, and I may have like crossed over that line and almost slipped. But luckily, I was athletic enough to catch my balance and not fall.
Have you seen Darius Geis? He's a big bowler too.
I haven't heard that.
I mean, he's all over on social media bowling all the time. He does like these weird trick shots, like with a Euro step and throws it. It's crazy. So maybe we'll get you and Geis one-on-one in a bowling competition to determine which former LSU great is the greatest bowler of all time.
Oh man, that would be awesome.
All right, we're gonna make that happen. Like we can absolutely make that happen, and that's gotta happen now. So let me work on some particulars with that, but we'll get cracking on. In the meantime, enjoy the game tonight, man. We always appreciate a couple of minutes. All right, we'll talk next week.
And thank you so much for having me, man. It's a joy doing it.
It's our pleasure.